Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. This is a live recording of the Poetry Glam Open Mic with Lynette Rainey Grandel at Two Harbors, Minnesota, Pride in the Park, Saturday, July 12th, 2025. Big thank you to individuals, organizations, and supporters like you who paved the way for our second successful event. This activity is made possible in part by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, thanks to appropriations from Minnesota State Legislators General Fund and a generous grant from Levin Lake County. Follow Two Harbors Pride on Facebook, Instagram, and our website at twoharborspride.org. Slam the like button, comment below, and join us next year. Enjoy!
Hey, my name is Lynette Rainey Grandel. I'm your poetry MC. I will start by doing, usually this is not a poetry slam. We didn't want to keep score or anything like that. So hopefully let's glam it up a little bit and read beautiful poems. We also have our poetry princess who will read poems by people who can't be here. I'm a writer. I have a couple of books of poetry. I've been a poet for a long, long time. I also have a memoir. I'm working on historical fiction based on unfinished grandparents, and I do a lot of readings, so I like microphones. That's about all I can say about myself. Oh, and I live in Minneapolis, and I'm married to Venus DeMars, who will be on the stage later on. So I will start by reading what would normally be called the sacrificial poem, the first poem of the event, called Radio Girls, because I love girls and rock and roll. Radio girls want to fall asleep with someone singing in their ears. Radio girls all developed huge crushes on David Bowie, and some never got over it. Radio girls are nearly inconsolable. Radio girls would rather go blind than remove their earbuds. Radio girls say, "Dream crusher, what have you done for me lately?" Radio girls shout syllables rapidly into microphones, shocking their lips and channeling Patti Smith. Radio girls have dark circles under their eyes, but it might be from smeared mascara. Radio girls sit on the curb and scowl because they are too shy to start conversations. Radio girls need to get off their asses and finish that novel about the yellow brick road. Radio girls are on a road which is uncharted. Radio girls work with deliberate care to arrange the right soundtrack that will follow them everywhere. But radio girls do not have free hearts. They are leashed to their hearts, and when they see their hearts walking up the sidewalk, one of them decides to turn sideways under the overhang and closes the door without looking back once. Thank you. Okay, I would like to invite Richmond Sharf to come up to the stage.
Thank you so much for that beautiful poem and for the introduction. My name is Richmond. I am a resident of Two Harbors for the past 5 years, formerly of Minneapolis, and I am a singer, songwriter. I write poetry, and I produce and participate in programs at KTWH Two Harbors Community Radio. Woo-hoo! And I am going to read one poem this afternoon. It's called Stepping Through the Forest. And it was conceived in the fourth of a series of poems inspired by the Tao Te Ching. Stepping through the forest, waking to the dream. Hear the forest singing, sounding out a stream. Walking through the forest, breath of forest air, hear the forest calling, sounding out a prayer. Remembrance, emergent, love magic, waking dream, timelessness, convergence, when the worlds began to sing. Primal Mother never dies. Human exceptionalism is a myth. Life and death, life and death, welcome to the dream.
All right, bye guys.
Thank you.
By the way, readers get a little bouquet of flowers if any of you is on the fence about reading. Oh, they're from Anderson Greenhouse.
What was our okay?
Ah, Anderson Greenhouse. So I'm not from Two Harbors, so I don't know where that is, but it's in Two Harbors. Okay, very good. I was wondering if I could invite our poetry princess up now to read a poem by one of the people who wanted to be here and couldn't.
All right. I'm Megan, and I am the Poetry Princess. I'm going to read something from Brian Malloy. So Brian Malloy worked at the Minnesota AIDS Project in the 1980s and was a volunteer coordinator of our state's first AIDS walk in 1987. He lives in Cook County with his husband of 35 years. And he has a poem called Life After Death. Ghosts shouldn't be so young. One or two maybe, but not all of them. I can see you there among them, blonde and unconfident. Red keds, brown glasses, ironic quips. Lone Justice's shelter, playing as you pour meow mix into your tabby's bowl. I'm the old man in your crowd, the one with rosacea red skin and high blood pressure. The one who makes you think, but not say, Christ Almighty, he's aged. That's what I thought, but didn't say about you during those last weeks. Remember dinner at the Leaning Tower of Pizza. Skipping home as we sang Christmas Comes But Once a Year. It was in the public domain then, along with It's a Wonderful Life. It was a wonderful life. I sometimes wonder what I could have done differently or better. Nothing, everything, anything. Maybe I could have held your dry hand in those long nights. Or read the Calamus sequence to you instead of turning on the TV. I did give the tabby a good home. I'm not who I was. Changing your Depends or squeezing drops of morphine on your tongue did not upset me. I was numb. But now that numbness has left me. Quite late in life. So I'll read Live Oak with Moss aloud and hope you can hear me.
Is Henry here now? Okay, come on up, say something about yourself, and read something.
Hello, my name is Henry Kneisel. I'm a poet from Duluth. I'm non-binary. I'm very excited to be here. I'd like to start by reading you guys a poem with some visual elements. The Very Hungry Caterpillar 2. In the shadow of the Valley of Death, a little egg lay on an abandoned Blockbuster video store. One Sunday morning, the warm sun came up, and pop! Out of the egg came the Very Hungry Caterpillar 2. He started looking for the meaning of it all. On Monday, he ate through one apple, but his heart was still heavy with the burden of cosmic uncertainty. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 discarded Keurig cups, but he was still a courseless vessel floating on motionless waters. On Wednesday, he ate through another caterpillar just to feel something. It didn't work. On Thursday, he stared out the window for 16 hours and then went to sleep. On Friday, he ate through the tragedy of Macbeth and felt gnawing ambition rattling in the void of his heart. On Saturday, he ate through 1 piece of chocolate cake, 1 Gideon Bible, 1 Oxycontin, 1 winning lottery ticket, 1 perfectly healthy toddler's left eye, 1 struggling mom and pop bookstore, 1 single mother doing her best, 1 guardrail, 1 smoke detector, 1 load-bearing wall, and 1 pesky nest of endangered songbirds whose protected status was interfering with the construction of a $2 billion, 600-megawatt coal plant. Get no here, oh Tommy ache. The next day was Sunday again. The caterpillar ate through a $10,000 check from the American Coal Council. And he felt something. Now he wasn't a little caterpillar anymore. He was a big, rich caterpillar. He refused to build a cocoon, and because he was now above the law, he continued to make everything worse for everyone forever. The end. That poem has a moral, but it's the secret spicy kind I can't tell you about. Figure it out on your own. So I'm going to read the namesake poem for my book, It's All Too Much, I'm Ready to Become a Canada Goose, which you can buy from me at that booth right now. Shameless plug, shameless plug. It's about how I solved all my problems by becoming a Canada Goose. It's all too much, I'm ready to become a Canada Goose. Travel the world, mate for life, poop on golf courses. I want to quit my job and devote myself full-time to hissin' and honkin'. Half snake, half eagle, following my instincts and chasing the sun across the continent. Like a trucker with no boss, or a cowboy with a Zeppelin. Flying in a V with 15 of my closest friends and family, taking turns at the point. Leadership without hierarchy. Community without confinement. Always home, but always on the move. A rolling stone just covered in moss. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Does that sound okay?
Yay!
Just got off the phone with God. Turns out, premarital sex was allowed this whole time. But people who sleep naked go to hell. Go figure. She also asked me to tell football players they can stop praying for touchdowns. God roots for the Eagles because she loves property damage, but doesn't interfere with games anymore because she's too busy with all the naked sleepers. You would not believe how many more people sleep naked since the advent of central heating. We live in an unprecedented age of sin. Anyway, God says that stealing from Target is fine. And that, while she appreciates the gesture, you don't have to go to church if you get bored there. Smelling a wildflower is just as good. Hallelujah. Go Eagles. Amen. Thank you all for being here and listening to my poems. I'm Henry Kneisel. Thank you to the event organizers. And whoever's next can go next.
Thank you so much, Henry. That was wonderful. I am wondering if Virginia is here. Where's Virginia? There you are! Yay! Come on up.
Hello, I am Virginia. I moved to Duluth a bit over a year ago, and I enjoy writing, especially when I get bored cashiering and I write poems on the back of receipt paper. I'll be reading the poem Endless Flight. Shedding scales, I make my second skin, rising higher over the water, the stars' twin sparkle below, immutable in the sky, pinpricks in firmament, their counterparts wrinkle in the ebb and flow. Caught between the heaven and the mirror, skies twice seen, my destination and my fear. But to seek thee away and turn away from what's now, I broke through the heavens, yet another circle surrounds. Searching among this vast expanse, so empty and free to find myself, I breathe the air and feel my worries waver, leaving them to flow below the sky, but the water clings to me like a second skin. Now ascended, no tides to fight, but all is farther, paths amended, cannot climb and cannot fall. Now to understand the world's woes, is it control or nihilism that knowledge shows? High above the surf and tide, rain now falls upon my coat. Feeling it collect under my collar, I know that this is the same water that I left below. It rises to find me and seeks my skin, the clouds so far above where I've ever been. Fly so high to still not feel completed. Endless skies, a prison that never yields. But all my worries and all my fears are no more than mist swallowed into the air. Thank you.
Oh, flowers!
Woo-hoo, Virginia, thank you so much. Now, next time I go grocery shopping, I'm going to watch to see if somebody's writing poetry. Let's see, is Dell here? Okay, come on up.
Hello, I'm Dell. I'm non-binary. I write poems like things, because emotions. So this one is called Hold. I've been told all my life what to look for in a man. I've been told all my life what a man would look for in me. I've heard all the stories of how I should be, how he should be, the logic behind what would make it a success or a failure. I've been taught how to observe, how to be perceived, the logic of partnership always explained to me, but the feeling was never conveyed. A partnership is logic, yes, but so much more. A craving for something deeper, an intimacy beyond words, something that is more than a label, a gender, or a social construct. Something that is beyond thought, words, and emotion. The crave to have someone who can hold you beyond the physical, someone who can reach in and hold my heart, and someone who will let me hold their heart. A deeper, greater thing that cannot be put into words, a partnership. The single desire to have someone who can hold me and someone I can hold, in full completeness and honesty, to just be held and to just hold. Thank you.
Okay, I'm wondering if Megan, our poetry princess, would like to read another, what are they calling these, cover poems?
Sure.
Cover poem from somebody who can't be here today.
I have a couple poems from Jess Morgan. Jess Morgan is a non-binary, multidisciplinary poet that wears many hats. Their current juggle includes patient education for abortion patients at We Health Clinic, providing a creative writing course for Choice Unlimited, writing for Perfect Duluth Day, freelance photography, DJing, working as a sound technician, farm sitting, and assorted work in the arts. Their first poem is entitled Starting. We both calm down enough to share space, but sit in quiet, perched in front of the fridge, communicating in word magnets. Morph anguish into play. Breathe slow, calm human song. Rearranging a dance that lasts for hours under the machine's hum until we get hungry and open up the door. And their second poem is called In the Final Moments. The sound requests keep rolling, bouncing bodies squeezing in, as many fists bumps and booty shakes as they can beneath the disco ball, before the lights go up and the energy dims, filtering out into the streetlight where it smells like laughter and fall. We take the feeling with us into the next morning, singing in the shower, dancing with the dishes, carrying our grief and our hope too, that even in our hardest or final moments, we'll be dancing.
Is Freddie here? Freddie, yay, Freddie.
Hello, I am Freddie. I also go by Jack Daniels. If you happen to be at the main club in Superior where my drag troupe, Gender Bliss in Drag, performs. We will be doing a mini show for Pride weekend. That's going to be the Friday of Pride weekend. And you'll get to be able to see myself as well as a couple of other drag kings, queens, and performers strut their stuff over at the main club in Superior. Little pink blanket, little blue balloons, toy trains and kitchens turn to guns and red lipstick, and the man kisses the girl, and they ride off into the sunset. And they ride off into a new day where he wears the suit and she wears pearls and high heels. And he has his loud voice while she has her pepper spray and gains respect by telling that she has a husband, that she is his. And any children they have his last name. Schools chosen by his friends on the board, his money-paying tuition, and her silent nurture must guide them through life, till they have their own, with little pink dresses, little blue ties. And the story seems to repeat itself, day in and day out, and you know there's something wrong, and it still has yet to surface. And you look at yourself, find your role in the tale, but what you see in the mirror isn't what is painted in your mind's eye. And you're asked why you wear your hair that way, or what this piece of clothing is, or why you feel uncomfortable with the features you were born with. Yet you don't respond with the true answer. You're not ready to show yourself yet. And your lips have become bloody. Not sure if they got that way from telling the story so many times, or from the audience that does not want to listen to how these characters do not make sense. And so you're left stranded, not on an island, but more like a raft, a crew of just one weirdo, adrift on a sea of society while sharks swim beneath, yet are too afraid to attack, too afraid to respect, too afraid. But the words you speak are both building blocks and trebuchets, the phrases that spin throughout your head, questioning everything, questioning your life story, and all the things you know you'll never tell your parents, yet what the world must learn. And when your ally finally asks the question, are you happy? In a way you are, with your true name and appearance, yet there is so much more to do, to make the audiences listen and the bloodshed stop. There is still so much left to be done before the two characters ride off into the sunrise, she wielding a pistol, and he hanging on for dear life, before they both wear comfortable shoes and their money is fair, and they are proud to be each other's, before they both are loud voices, advocates, not bound by fear, with any children being taught of unity and dressed all in purple.
Freddie, wow. Thank you so much. That was powerful. When did you say you're going to be at the Maine? Okay. Friday, last weekend of August. August 29. Thank you.